From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I'm Keith Allen, and proudly welcoming you into this Wednesday's edition of For the People for October the 18th, 2017. Our Attorney General Jeffrey Sessions being grilled right now on Capitol Hill, testifies before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Orrin Hatch of Utah asking about marijuana. And let's tune in right now to the television and see how this is going.
You have raised that in the past, and it was a big part of what we did. The legislation you and Congress passed was a big part of what we were able to.
Well, thank you. I'd like to just make a couple of comments. First, a comment on the Supreme Court's recent decision to grant cert in the Microsoft Ireland case. Now, I know the Department and I have different views on this case, and the topic remains controversial. That's why I introduced the International Communications Privacy Act, or ICPA, to create a clear framework for determining when law enforcement may access an individual's electronic communications, regardless of where those communications are stored. No matter which way the court rules, I believe this is a policy question that Congress needs to decide. Congress, not the court, should be the body that determines our data privacy laws. But I'm grateful to the Department for its work thus far with me on ICPA, and I hope you'll continue working with me and others on this committee to refine the bill so it can be enacted into law.
All right, so we're not talking about marijuana, just a lot of different issues on Capitol Hill, I guess, to see if the Attorney General's actually doing what the Attorney General is supposed to do, making sure that he is not doing anything illegal with the Trump administration, trying to keep some accountability. Interesting, but a lot of stuff being grilled. Russia, one of them, but they're really skipping around here because it was marijuana 2 minutes ago. And I guess they answered that question about applications for grow farms throughout the United States for medicinal use. And Orrin Hatch basically is not really on board with the whole thing and was just kind of asking his position and if he really liked it. And there's still research being done. Some doctors really don't think the benefits outweigh, doing it. But still research is being done, and there's a lot of taxpayer dollars actually still being appropriated for it. So I guess that's what the big review is. President Trump tweeting today that James Comey totally protected Hillary Clinton after the FBI confirmed the former bureau boss drafted a statement on the private email case 2 months before it was over. We talked about this yesterday. But still very relevant, in a series of tweets, Trump also swiped at the Justice Department, seeming to suggest that they review what he called an apparent fix. He says, wow, FBI confirms report that James Comey drafted letter exonerating crooked Hillary Clinton long before investigation was complete. Many people not interviewed, including Hillary Clinton herself. Comey stated under oath that he didn't do this. Obviously a fix. Where is Justice Department? Well, folks, obviously he sees the fix, but it's conclusive because there's a paper trail. They found it. Yep, he didn't clean his office that well. Remember, this was a surprise to James Comey. He did not know. See, he did not have time to clean out the drawers. They found this stuff, combed through it. Oh, they knew this stuff exists, but it was released. The media has it. And where is the outrage? Where is the outrage on the left on this one? Of course there's none, because they were exonerating Hillary Clinton, so they didn't prosecute her so she could run for president. She could be the president because they wanted her to be the president. This served her. It helped her. And if anybody could be thankful for her freedom, it would be Hillary Clinton, you would think. This was a setup. Like I've said all along, what in the world does Hillary Rotten Clinton have on James Comey? I mean, seriously, what threats were made? His life, his family? What was it? Because certainly this tarnishes his reputation for what it was, being such a Boy Scout that he was, and everybody admired him and how on top of his game he was and how respectable he was and how he did everything by the book. But there's a difference here. Clearly, he broke the law big time. And so this is going to be drudged up. This is very interesting information, and on the heels of Hillary Clinton's apology tour, because that's what a lot of people have called her book, trying to apologize, for what went wrong. And James Comey's name is in the book. She should be, I feel like, ebony, that's all, folks. She should be kissing the feet of James Comey, kissing the ring, something. This is just a bombshell. Yeah, where is the justice? I really, really do like the tweet today. The existence of the Comey documents was first brought to light by Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Senator Lindsey Graham, after they reviewed transcripts with top Comey aides who alluded to the email's existence. The Judiciary Committee penned a letter on August 30th to newly appointed FBI Director Christopher Wray. They noted their findings, saying that it appears that in April or early May 2016, Mr. Comey had already decided he would issue a statement exonerating Secretary Clinton. That was long before FBI agents finished their work and all the Senate Judiciary Committee meetings that went on for hours and hours and hours. You remember him very well. He's already made up his mind as to what they were going to do. He knew. And others knew exactly what was going to happen here. But they try to pin everything on him. And it looks like, in fact, it was him colluding with Hillary Clinton in some way to excuse her wrongdoing. Clearly, there was enough information, enough research that was done, combing the computers, seeing wrongdoing, but decided because of who she is, what she is, and he must have read Clinton Cash, and he must have known that Ed Klein knew all about the Clintons and how dirty they are. That's the only thing that I can think of why Comey would do it. He's got to have a book. Why did I do it? Not like O.J. Simpson. What was the book? If I Did It. Why did I do it? They need to march him up there and question him as to what his motive was. What was his motive? Very interesting. Just when you think that everything's going to die down and nothing is going to come out of this. Last week, the FBI said it uncovered 30 pages of documents relating to the controversial 2016 tarmac meeting. So there's more on that, too. It's interesting how time seems to provide even more information as time goes by. It is very interesting, though, the more that we learn about these released documents proving that Comey had all of this all set up, went through the whole motions of it, and already had made up his mind a long time before. And Crooked Hillary. That's a good name. He didn't forget the name, and you shouldn't forget the name either. She is deplorable, and in the right context of that word. She was the woman who destroyed a gentleman who I learned the business from, radio. It was one of the first consumer advocates on the radio, Chuck Harder, next to Dave Ramsey. But I'll never forget. It's just, there's certain things in life that it just indelibly, it's just written on your brain. That was one of them. The letter written from Hillary Clinton demanding that conservative Chuck Harder be removed from the airwaves, and then left-leaning talk show host, I don't even know if he's on the radio still, but Jim Hightower, real flaming liberal that Clinton just loathes. And that was it. But that's using and abusing your power. That's just something that she's done, but destroyed a good man and his mission by putting out information that was true about them, and she hated it. Well, he was on 300-400 stations and 60 cable outlets. So it was kind of a big deal, and she didn't like it. But that's how they roll, and that's how they've rolled. So I just have to think that there had to have been some kind of threat, or if it wasn't a threat on his life or his family's life or something like that, like Uncle Rocco's going to take care of you, there was some dirt. They knew something. They had something, and they were going to release it if he did not go along. I'm just saying, what a terrible way to leave public service in this cloud. And so many people stuck out their neck for James Comey. So many people from the left, from the right, from all walks of life, put their neck out to try to protect this guy, saying what a Boy Scout he was squeaky clean, and he just wanted to come to the bottom of this. He wanted to do the right thing. And then we find out all along he's in bed with Hillary Clinton. Now, for your literalist out there, I'm not meaning literally, but certainly on the same page with everything. Like, we're just going to go along. There's going to be an act here. And, man, both of them are great actors. Well, Hillary, not so much. But James Comey, he made you believe, and made a lot of people believe. I didn't believe it. Because right at the last moment, she walks. I was wanting the orange jumpsuit on her. I thought that would have looked great on her. There was cartoonists. They already had it sketched here, but then there was one person that could have made that happen. But he already made up his mind. Nope, we're not going to press charges. She doesn't deserve that. And believe me, even if she did go into prison, it would be posh. She'd have her own cell. It would be carpeted, flat screen TVs. She'd probably have servants. Or she'd be able to pay off the kitchen to get exactly what she wanted. Yeah, federal prison, man. If you're going to go to prison, they say that's where you want to go. Golf courses, finest of doctors. It's beautiful. But it doesn't surprise me. And by the way, where's Jesus? Jesus Campos. I am concerned about this guy legitimately. So is a lot of America. And now I'm I'm not feeling so sorry for him right now because he's in the arms of Ellen DeGeneres. And it looks like to me a big publicity stunt for this guy. Okay, because he's only doing an exclusive with Ellen DeGeneres. He takes off, he's in this cloud of secrecy. He's the guard, okay, he was outside the door of Stephen Paddock there in Vegas. 200 rounds, he got shot. He lived to tell about it. He's getting ready to go on the TV, and all the networks were to ask him questions, and then he bails, and it hasn't been seen for weeks. Until today. I don't know how much ABC secured Ellen DeGeneres to be able to do this exclusive.